Hello worldies and welcome back to my channel. If you are looking to level up in 2026, then watch this video because I want to tell you 3 things that I wish I knew at 20 years old. Because the truth is this, if you are 20 years old, if you're younger than that, wherever you are in life, you have something that I don't necessarily have, anybody who is any bit older than you, anybody who is past that age of 20, they don't have that time that you have. So I'm hoping that to level up faster, you're going to capitalize on learning from my mistakes and the mistakes that I've learned from other people around me as well. I love to talk about this topic, and stay for the 3rd thing that I wish that I learned, because I'm going to save the best one for last. So, number one thing that I wish that I knew at 20 years old is that the people that you are afraid of right now in your life, they're nobodies now, and I guarantee you in the next 10 years, they will still be nobodies. So what do I mean by this? I remember being younger and I constantly felt as though I had to get approval or permission from certain people. And I would be thinking and contemplating about every single move, whether it was an aesthetic change, whether it was taking up a hobby, whether it was making a major life decision. I would basically be outsourcing my decision making to other people. Like, what do you think? Do you think it's okay to do this? Do you think I should text this? Do you think I should wear this? And now in my life, I've gotten to the point where I realize that feeling like that about people holds you back, because people don't know what they want in the first place, and what they want should not be of your concern. You should be focused on what you want, and you should be going to people who have knowledge and wisdom on whatever it is you're trying to achieve, as opposed to just trying to get approval from people who are familiar, like your peers, like your coworkers, like your classmates, maybe your family or your friends, maybe even a partner in the situation, or a higher up. Unless somebody is a specifically assigned mentor, this is somebody that you genuinely have decided you believe that you have so much that you can learn from them, then other people's opinions should not be, coming into the equation when it comes to, should I do this? Should I do that? It doesn't matter. They're nobodies. They've been nobodies back then when you were afraid of them. And years down the line, I can tell you for a fact that they're still nobodies. I literally tried this the other day. I was just thinking, I went to a specific search engine, which this is, maybe controversial, but I just started thinking about in the lens of capitalism, in the lens of, who's trending and all of these things. I just looked up the people who I used to be the most afraid of. And then I realized, I'm like, okay, they have been seeking to gain some sort of power, and they held power over me in the sense that I was afraid of them. I was afraid of their disapproval. I was afraid of their opinions. And so, yeah, they got to feel very powerful just to me. But then when I think about the real world, and not saying that you have to be, sorry, there's somebody else in my window, not saying that you have to be like TikTok trending and you have to be this, that, and the third in order to be relevant or in order to be important or valuable. I'm not saying that. But in the grand scheme of things, like, they are nobody. They're nobody. They are not, like, if there's somebody that you're afraid of their opinion, you're afraid of their disapproval, you're afraid of losing them, are they Googleable? Like, are they even Googleable? Do they even have a LinkedIn? Do they even make 6 figures? And this is going to come off sounding a bit harsh, because I'm not going to say that if you don't meet these criteria that you're not valuable and you're not important. But in all honesty, if the person that you're afraid of is not really a mover or a shaker, and this can happen because of people falling off, maybe they used to be and they're not anymore, but what do they really have besides power over you? What do they have that's tangible? What do they have that translates over past different audiences and to the whole world? Like, I mean, this is why I always think that it's got to be hard to be in a situation where your ex is like Tyla, or your ex is, a famous actress, somebody that you're going to see all over the place. Because I will say that it definitely makes me feel a lot better and a lot more fearless to become a new person when it comes to me realizing that the people that I would be giving up becoming the most leveled up version of myself for, they're nobody. And so why would I make myself a sacrifice for this person, this nobody? Too often we are worshiping other people when we are so concerned with people's judgment, their opinions, their acceptance, their approval, their disapproval. They are not a God. They are just a person. And 9 times out of 10, they're not that important in the grand scheme of things. I really wish that I understood that sooner, because there are a lot more risks that I would have taken, because I would not have cared about disapproval from such and such, because I would have understood that they are a nobody. And that they were always going to be a nobody, pretty much. And that's one thing that makes me feel better. But moving on to my second point. The second thing that I wish that I knew at 20. And this one is going to be like a beauty type of thing, a health thing. And I will say that a lot of women can probably relate to this. I wish that I understood that having a fat ass was not the most important thing in the world. I see too many women walking around with a big stomach, a big chin, a big neck, big fingers, big toes, big ankles, big everything, all so they can have a big butt. And I have gotten to the point where, and I feel like I can speak to this from a different perspective, just because, I like men and women. So because of that, I am able to see things from a different kind of perspective. I can put myself into different shoes and different situations when it comes to, sexual dynamics or gender dynamics and things like that. And even if you are somebody who likes a butt, like a nice butt, a nice big juicy donk, there's never... you're never going to beat that on an athletic and toned and lean body. You're never going to beat that. Having the big ass with the big bat wings and the big chin and the big extra necks and everything, the big back of your neck, none of that is ever going to be worth it. It's not cute enough in either gaze, I would say. No matter what angle you're coming from it, if it's a health angle, if it's a beauty angle, if it's an attraction angle, you're never going to beat being fit with a big old plump butt, versus being just big, just big everywhere. I'm not opposed to wanting to be strong. I definitely don't preach an infantilized version of beauty or anything like that. Nor do I think that wanting to not be bulky. Sorry, I just had to cut off my recording because something was really loud outside my window and it just kept going on for a hot minute. It's still in the background a little bit, so I'm sorry if it's a little bit harder to hear me or anything. But I don't think that it makes you anti-woman or infantilized if you don't want to be bulky. Not everybody wants to be a lean beef patty. Not everybody wants to be Supergirl, or I don't have anything wrong. I don't see anything wrong with either aesthetic, but I will say that so many women allow themselves to settle for a life of obesity in the name of trying to get a big bottom. I've seen so many times. I've even seen women trying to praise themselves and uplift themselves and try to claim that it looks like they've gotten work done because of the big bottom that they've been able to gain, while they also gained over 100 pounds, became obese. It's not cute to be obese. It's just not. And the reason that it's not is not, I'm not coming at this from an attraction gaze. I'm coming at it from the lens of You are too beautiful. The world needs healthy women, like honestly, just so we can all get along, so we can enjoy our time on the earth, so that we can be alive and not be sick. You don't need to have a big back of your neck. You don't need to have a big chin just to have a big butt. There are ways to have a big, juicy, delicious, like just so donkulous big booty without being obese. It is so very possible. And at 20 years old, I wish that I didn't settle for the bad advice that I was getting at the time, that I was just supposed to like dirty bulk, just bulk. Yeah, we're bulking. You're bulking yourself into the biggest back that you've ever had. And look at that. Your ass is still flat. It's just big and flat now. So that's the second thing. And if you're still watching, definitely give a subscribe, because that means that maybe you enjoy this type of content. And I want to move on to the third thing, the most important thing. But first, I want to talk about my workbook again. I've released this workbook, which I was inspired to make because I had so many different people who are coming to me publicly and privately talking about like my mindset, my aura, and things that I've been able to do to level up my life, and just curious about what I've done. And I went through years of journals and exercises, things that I've gotten from therapists, things that I've gotten from science, things that I've gotten from manifestation coaches, and I literally tracked like what worked for me, and I put it all together, and it's a digital download right now. Maybe if people really want it as a hardcover, that's what I will release. That's what I prefer to do myself. I always use like a hardcover journal, but I just wanted to introduce the idea to you all, and thank you for all of the love and support. And let's get into the third thing that I wish that I knew when I was 20. Sorry, there is so much noise outside my window, but I'm not going to let that stop me from recording. Like, it is definitely time to record. But the third thing that I wish that I knew. I wish that I knew that there is nothing wrong with deciding to be girly. I wish I didn't, or I wish that I knew it's okay to want to be girly. It's okay to want to be womanly. It's okay to want to explore your look. It's okay to want to explore your body. I wish that when I was that age, I didn't allow myself to be policed so much by certain people who, going back to the first point, are nobodies. I allowed myself so much to be policed in my views and my choices, in my decisions, but specifically in my beauty. I allowed myself to be policed, and I wish that I didn't. I will say that when it comes to the women that I see who are able to level up their appearance the most, and how I've been able to do that to myself, is you have to not ask for permission, and you have to just try new things. You have to practice new things. You have to try a bunch of workouts and just take on the identity of, I'm a person who works out. Now, to figure out what works and what doesn't work for you, you have to consistently be somebody who cares about nutrition and pays attention to that, to be able to have leveled up past the point where you think the only way to lose weight, or you think the only way to gain muscle is this or that. You need to be consistent and work on it. If it is doing your makeup, forget everybody who claims that like, oh, that's being a pick-me. Fuck them bitches, like, for real. Because the thing is, one day those girls are going to have a special event that they want to go to, and they're going to be one of these grown women online complaining about being a late bloomer who doesn't know how to do their makeup, or they're not going to know how to do this or that, whatever womanly, girly thing. And I think that specifically in the Black community, there's a huge issue with making it seem like as a girl, you shouldn't want to be a girl. You shouldn't want to explain, or you shouldn't want to explore being a girl. You shouldn't be growing into a lady and be curious about your body. You shouldn't want to try different things with your style, your look, your aesthetic, different types of clothes. So many of us explore too late. And I will say it's never too late. Even if you're listening to this and you're like older than the age range that I'm I'm really making this video specifically for. The next 10 years of your life can look completely different than what the last 10 years of your life look like if you implement things like this. Like if this is stuff that I'm talking about, I wish that I knew at 20, and you're older and you're listening and you don't know this, implement it. Don't be one of those people who can never admit when they're wrong, or can never admit when, they just didn't have it all figured out. That's one of the worst things you can do. That's almost like a bonus, is like, don't be somebody who's, don't need to be right all the time. But specifically like nails, hair, accessorizing, trying different styles, trying on different colors, trying different purses, trying different shoes, like just try things. Just try things. Like I think so many of us can allow ourselves to be so robotic. I think a lot of femininity, as we're taught it, is meant to be performative. A lot of us are taught femininity in the sense of, and I will say like in the social media age, I think a lot of videos, and I've noticed this before, like whether it's grown women trying to learn about hygiene that I guess nobody taught them when they were younger, even those types of videos get framed as like, get ready with me for a D appointment. Like things about hobbies to try are based on, oh, well, a white man will be here or a rich man will be there. And, try this kind of nail because men are going to like this, and try this type of style because of, it really is just so basic. But when you really think about it, the longer that you have that you are practicing doing your makeup, that you're practicing, taking care of your fitness, that you're practicing styling yourself and literally playing dress up and trying new kinds of eyeshadow, new kinds of nails, new kinds of things that you're doing, the happier you're going to be, and the easier it is. You're exercising that muscle of being fearless, of being careless, of being brave. And when you're the type of person who integrates that into your identity, that one, you try all these different things. One, it's easier to see yourself as beautiful because you see a multitude of different ways that you look so beautiful. And also, like I said before, you learn what works and what doesn't work for you, but you also get to the point where you're like, hey, I'm fearless. I can try all these different things. Like I really do like integrate those things for myself. Like, oh yeah, I tried this, and I will literally allow myself having tried something to make me more confident. And that's just a mental hack that I make. I try, being an adventurous person, I try a lot of new things, whether that's trying new foods, trying new hobbies, trying to go vacation in places people don't always go, trying to, maybe cross something off of your bucket list, trying a new career, trying a new hobby, like any of those things. Being that type of fearless person makes it easier for me to go into each new phase of my life like feeling like I can handle this, I can do this, I can do that. I am fearless, I am brave, I do hard things all the time. I do things, with a plan, but also for the plot all the time. So I am usually pretty light on my feet, and I am okay if there's a trapdoor in life, and it's okay for me to kind of roll with the punches and maintain a soft life, because I think of it as being like more at ease, and it feels like I'm flowing with the different phases of life, as opposed to trying to stay rigid, trying to stay stagnant and stuck and resisting. Everything around you is changing. The weather changes, politics change, the holidays change. Man, we change science and definitions of things. Like we change everything. Why would you not change too? The world changes, social media changes, algorithms change, everything changes. You should be okay with changing too. So what do you think about this, worldies? Let me know down in the comments below. And until next time, worldies, eyes on the prize.